This is the third part of the Man United SC26 Michael Carrick career mode for the 26-27 season, and we're going to finally get into the Champions League. Let's go. Okay, we're back, and immediately looking at the screen, you can see a massive change as I ended up signing Lewandowski as a free agent, as he's the perfect striker. We need another striker. That's been a worry. I ended up giving Lewandowski the number 9. Sesko's going to stick with number 30. He's here for only 1 year. He'll help mentor Sesko and hopefully turn him into even a better striker than I want him to be. I also finally got the 26-27 kits in. Found that Delit's almost back from injury. He's about to be done from being injured from his very, very long time of being injured. But we're going to right now get right into the game. No messing around. We got no transfers going. Let's go and let's hopefully beat Southampton. So the first match of the episode was against Southampton at home, and it ended up being a pretty easy match as we pretty much dominated. First goal came when Bruno passed it to Mbeumo. He flicked it back over to Bruno, who just smashed it into the top corner for the first goal. Then quickly after that, Bruno crossed in a corner that went to Euro. Euro headed it in, making it 2-0. 2-0 in less than 5 minutes of the game. A few minutes later, Ederson ran through, passed it to Mbeumo, who just ran right past the Southampton defense and laid it right across the goalie, making it 3-0 very easily. At the start of the second half, Dorgu running through, gave it to Mainu. Mainu just put it in, got the goal, got his first goal of the season, making it 4-0. Then Harry Amas got forward, chipped it over to Sesko. Sesko, touch, finish, volley. Then finally, Ahmad got the ball, cut inside, curled it, and sealed the 6th goal in the 92nd minute of the game, and finishing the game at a 6-0 win against Southampton. Michael Carrick's biggest win by far for Man United. Next match was the first Champions League game of the season versus Dynamo, as we were playing the first game at Old Trafford, which would be a massive help. But we need a strong start and a strong first game return to the Champions League after 3 years, I think. And that's what we did. We played very, very solid. And the first goal came pretty early on after Cunha got the ball. Ended up doing a Trivela pass to Sesko, who headed it in. Sesko's specialty. Headed it in. First goal of the Champions League, 1-0. A few minutes later, before halftime, Cunha was fouled in the box, and he got a penalty for Man United. Bruno, the captain, would take the penalty, and Bruno smashed it right in the bottom left corner. We did have one more chance that almost went in from a Maguire header, but it didn't turn into anything, and that would seal our first half. I made early on subs, bringing on Matheus Fernandes and Dorgu and taking off Mbeumo and Ederson, some new legs. And a few minutes after the subs, Matheus Fernandes passed it to Bruno, and he put in this absolute rocket of a goal. I mean, who else would dominate the first Champions League game of the season other than Bruno Fernandes, the captain, with an absolute rocket? But right after that, due to really bad defending, Dynamo was able to get the ball, squeeze it into the back of the net. But we wouldn't lose the game as a few minutes later, Martinez would move up, dribble, give it to Dorgu, who'd cut inside, and curl an amazing shot in, just like Gareth Bale. A Gareth Bale-esque sort of goal. And Dorgu's first ever Champions League goal on his Champions League debut as a sub. I mean, what a curler. What a super sub Dorgu has been. Then we got one last chance on this counterattack. Leao, Bruno, Sesko. Sesko tried to smash it in, but it was just too high, but it didn't matter. The whistle blew. It was a 4-1 win. Massive win on the opening day of Champions League for Man United at Old Trafford. Next, we played Bournemouth away from home in the Premier League, and it was our first time wearing our new blue kits, away kits. But either way, we got the early goal. Cunha did some step-overs, shot it, goalie blocked it, but it went right to Mbeumo, who had an easy tap-in. And Mbeumo scored, making it 1-0. Mbeumo with back-to-back Premier League goals. And one of the easiest goals Mbeumo was going to score. But Bournemouth wouldn't let up, and they started putting in some crosses. Lamens made a great save here after a header, and Lamens just kind of kept saving us. Martinez had a block there, but overall, we were just able to hold them off until halftime. And in the second half, I made subs. As finally, Delit would be back. I took him off for Euro. But other than that, not a lot of action happened in the second half. And eventually the clock ran out and it ended as very simple 1-0 win for Man United with a clean sheet against Bournemouth. Next, we played our first Carabao Cup game, which was against Burnley. I switched the squad up a lot. I brought in some new players. Lewandowski with his first start. Ahmad getting in. I gave Collier a big chance and a few other guys, like Haven, who got the start, and Mateus Fernandez, who's getting his big chance at Cam. And the first goal came when Mateus Fernandez passed it to Leao. Leao dribbled past the defender, cut inside, and curled in an amazing goal. Another amazing goal, another amazing shot, and his third goal for Man United. I mean, just look at that shot. Insane. Right after that, Lewandowski got fouled in the box, and we ended up getting a good penalty. And Lewandowski got his chance to finally score his first Man United goal from the penalty spot. And of course, he smashed it in the top right corner, scoring. Even though it's a Carabao Cup goal, nonetheless, it's a goal, and it's a start for his Man United career, which will very likely be a very short Man United career. That pretty much wrapped up the first half, and we went into the second half. I made 2 subs. I took out Ahmad, who wasn't performing well, and I took off Rafael Leao to rest him. I ended up bringing on Dorgu, and I also brought on the young JJ Gabriel, because I wanted to give him one chance to finally prove himself, maybe do something. Eventually, he did some step-overs over the defense, got it to Mateus Fernandez. Mateus Fernandez got space to shoot on his weak foot, and he smashed it in, getting his first goal, and making it 3-0 to Man United against Burnley. Mateus Fernandez's first goal, and JJ Gabriel getting a massive assist. And pretty much nothing else happened in the second half as it would end. 3-0 win for Man United. Next was a big match at home versus Chelsea. Early on, we both had some good chances, with Sesko having a bad shot here. And a few minutes later, Caicedo had a great shot where Lamans made a really good save. Enzo crossed it in to Levi Colwill, who just smashed in the header. Lamans couldn't do anything about it. Maguire and Martinez should have defended it better, but we were down 0-1 to Chelsea at Old Trafford. And Chelsea didn't give up as they continued to attack. Garnacho to João Pedro, we blocked it. Bruno putting a good cross here to Sesko. Sesko just barely getting blocked by the goalie, and he couldn't create anything from there. Chelsea, towards the end of the first half, finally finished it off. João Pedro to Garnacho. Garnacho smashed it in, and it ended 0-2 in the first half, because we were down 2 goals to Chelsea at Old Trafford. And it had to be Garnacho scoring against us. At the start of the second half, I ended up bringing on Rafael Leao, who's been in great form. And also I brought on Lewandowski. And eventually we were able to create something as Bruno got it to Rafael Leao, who went towards the back, cut inside, got it to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski did this great back heel. Amazing goal. Just sucks that we're losing and Andy scored such a good goal like this. But it was a good goal to get us back and get us some momentum. But despite that goal, we couldn't make any more momentum, and the game ended up ending at 1-2 loss against Chelsea at home, and the first Old Trafford loss of the series. Next, we went into our second Champions League game of the episode, and what would be our last game of the episode, and it was away against Molde FK. Another easy team and another game that we should win. I ended up switching the squad around, bringing in some new players to start. Mateus Fernandez got the start. I ended up taking out the original 3 that were up front, and I started Rafael Leao, Lewandowski, and Dorgu on the right. I also gave Haven a start as he's been playing well, and I think after the really embarrassing Chelsea loss that we just needed to switch things up. Also, De Ligt got his first big start, which was big for him. We were the team that obviously were playing better at the start. Rafael Leao almost scoring here. And a few minutes later, Rafael Leao does score with this great header from a Bruno cross, and it was off the crossbar and in, as he gets his first Champions League goal of the season. And an important one, too, to give us the lead. I really didn't expect a player like Rafael Leao to score a header like this, because it was a really, really good header. I mean, the bend, the curve, how it just dipped in, hit the crossbar. And that one goal from Rafael Leao would end the first half with a 1-0 lead. Went into the second half, no changes, because we were playing really, really well. And we continued to pretty much keep dominating in the second half, with Leao almost getting another goal here. Eventually, from some good passing, Bruno to Dorgu. Dorgu cut inside, and Dorgu again, giving it to Lewandowski, who just finishes and making it 2-0. Good pass, good finish. And the 2 new attacking signings have now gotten a goal in the Champions League, and the defense kind of kept holding them off for the rest of the game with De Ligt, some good moments. And eventually the game ended 2-0. A good win, a good way to finish off the episode after a rough loss. and back-to-back Champions League wins for Michael Carrick. These are the new standings in the Premier League. We're now sitting at third behind Chelsea and Man City. We are at a strong second in the Champions League behind Barcelona, which is pretty solid. And we also will face Crystal Palace for the next round of the Carabao Cup. Okay, now moving over to performances. We have first our two strikers, Lewandowski and Sesko, who both did pretty good this month. Lewandowski scoring in every single competition. Sesko getting a Champions League and Premier League goal. Ahmad getting an earlier goal. And Buemo finally hitting the mark a little, getting 2 Premier League goals. Mateus Fernandes is starting to really cook, getting a goal and 2 assists. Cunha wasn't super good this episode, but had a few pretty good performances. Won a penalty. He got an assist. Bruno, he's been, again, probably the best player this episode and best player so far in the career mode. He's been just the standout. He keeps cooking. JJ Gabriel, he went up in rating. He is now 65 rated. He got his first ever assist, first ever game. I'm going to need to see more from him. Dorgu, another goal and another assist this episode. Went up to 79 rated. He's been cooking. Been literally the reincarnation of Gareth Bale. Rafael Leao had some moments where he was more quiet this episode, but he broke out in the last few games. Got his first Champions League goal. Got a really good goal in the Carabao Cup. And he got another Premier League assist. Kobe Mainu went up a rating. He got his first Prem goal. He got an assist last episode. And he's just been very consistent and solid. Collier also went up 1 rating. He won Player of the Match in the Carabao Cup game. He just controlled midfield and he played really, really well. Ederson didn't have a lot of moments this episode, but still has been solid and been pretty good. Tonali still needs to break through and do a little bit better. We haven't seen the best of Tonali yet. Mizraoui, he ended up getting injured and he'll be out for about, a few weeks. He got some sort of foot injury. He's been okay. Dalot's not been great. Euro, first goal, went up a rating. He's been really, really good. Not a lot to say about him, other than he's just been performing well. Martinez, definitely an improvement from last episode. After his red card, he got an assist. He got a few pretty good games and moments. De Ligt finally returned from injury. He's playing great. He's played pretty much every single game since then, and he's been a massive standout, and I just need to keep playing him. He's probably right back in the starting lineup. Maguire, not a lot going. Haven, he had a few moments where he played pretty good but didn't do a whole lot. And last person I changed was Lamens. And Vitek. Vitek got his first clean sheet, Carabao Cup game. He played really solid. And then Lamens, he went up to 83. He's had 3 clean sheets. He's been performing pretty good. And there's a reason we have 3 clean sheets, and he's one of the best goalies in the league right now. Bruno Fernandes also tied with his former teammate Rashford for most assists in the league right now. But also a bad Bruno Fernandes stat, he has tied for most yellow cards in the league also. But this episode we really only had 1 bad performance. Chelsea, that was our worst one by far. We weren't amazing against Bournemouth, but other than that we played pretty good. Wrapping up the episode also, but this is what next month's schedule looks like. Pretty interesting. Newcastle away. I think it's been a very long time since Man United's beaten Newcastle away. Brentford's always a tough one for United. Benfica, interesting game. We'll play Crystal Palace again later in the month. Leeds, hopefully we can beat Leeds at home this time. And Fulham. I don't think Man United's beaten Fulham for a bit away either. So, interesting fixtures. Thanks for sticking with me through this video, and I'm excited to continue the next part when it comes out. Thanks.